first edition of Parking Talks. Mobile parking and mobile apps have taken off in a big way. So today we will be talking to Juan Rodriguez from FlashParking, Greg Parzik from ZipBy, and Adam Warnes from Passport. Hi guys. We are interested as to why mobile parking and apps have become such a major medium in parking. What do you think, Juan?
So mobile parking apps have taken off in a lot of the major cities for mobile payment purposes, like in Washington, D.C., and for e-parking reservations or reservations like in Chicago and San Francisco. And they've been adopted pretty well because they bring a level of convenience to the parkers. And I think also the society is moving to what we call mobile first. So we're spending a lot of times on our phones, and if it's more convenient to be able to do a particular task on your phone, it makes sense. So I think that's the main reason of why the mobile apps are being adopted.
Do you agree with Juan in that it's all about convenience, Greg?
Here at ZipBy USA, we feel that mobile apps will be a major medium going forward in the parking industry. They're utilized for so many things today, anything from buying a coffee at Starbucks to checking in at the airport. There's no reason why you can't use a mobile app to park. In addition to that, they satisfy all credential mediums that you do not require cards or tickets or transponders or transmitters or anything like that. So we believe the e-wallet is the ticket for the future in parking and will evolve as we go forward into a completely autonomous solution in that area.
The point about autonomy is really interesting, Greg. Adam, do you have anything to add?
Today, virtually everyone in the UK has got a smartphone. People are increasingly using their smartphones to pay for things on the move, and there's really no reason at all why parking should be any different from that. There's been a huge growth in terms of the adoption of mobile payment apps for paying for parking in the UK. And that's probably driven really by two things. It's driven by ease of use for the consumer. If you think about a customer parking on street, using their mobile to pay for their session is so much quicker and so much easier than a traditional payment method where someone has to get out of the car, walk to a meter, put coins inside the meter, and then obviously return to the car with a ticket to display. Smartphones now, you can even extend your parking without returning to the car. It really is so much easier for the consumer. Equally for the city, it's a much cheaper way of offering their parking estate out on the street. There's no need for any significant hardware investment in terms of parking machines and maintenance of those machines, as well as obviously cash collection costs, which are saved by the council. But the big win for us really is about how you can better understand customer trends. All of the customers who transact through a mobile application will have a unique identifier, and all of a sudden you're starting to get a picture of where customers park, how often they park, and it allows you to offer a much better service for them.
Mobile parking and parking apps have come a long way in the last few years. It is interesting to consider how much further they can evolve. Do you have any ideas on this, Greg?
There is a lot of buzz in the parking industry these days about autonomous vehicles, autonomous parking, all different applications for autonomous. And here at ZipBy, we believe the autonomous mobile parking app is truly the way an individual should be able to park his car or her car, to completely dislocate themselves from any interaction with parks equipment, pressing buttons, taking tickets, going to pay stations, that it should be a seamless, frictionless, true free-flow parking experience, and this would evolve into a much higher level of customer service because there is no requirement for the parker to do anything other than have the mobile app. No need to touch a phone or hold it up or things of this nature. So we believe that autonomous parking with a mobile app is the future for our development and product.
And Adam, do you think we will see a future where autonomous parking and mobile apps work together?
I think we see sort of parking apps and the whole market of parking applications probably developing in a couple of ways. Firstly, if you look at the UK market for parking apps across cities and local authorities, it's a pretty fragmented picture. Different authorities have gone into contract with different suppliers, and that often means that if you're driving around a particular city or particular county, you may need a number of different applications on your phone to pay for parking. That can be quite a frustrating experience for the consumer. What we're expecting to see is more local authorities, more councils work on a bit more of a joined up approach and allow potentially multiple apps to sell parking estate on their streets, which means from a consumer point of view, instead of needing 5 or 6 different apps and 5 or 6 different accounts, you'll be able to park with your app of choice in a lot more locations than you currently can do in the UK. What we also see is changing needs of curbside use, really. It's no longer just about people in their traditional cars turning up and parking on street. We're seeing a huge growth in all sort of alternative methods of transport, whether that's car sharing, ride hailing, or more sustainable forms of transport such as dockless cycles, etc., etc. Clearly, at the moment, all of those have different demands on curbside space and, again, different ways of paying for those services. We see mobile applications becoming a lot more multimodal and allowing transactions not just for traditional parking in cars, but for all of these new and popular emerging forms of transport.
Juan, what do you think about mobile apps being used in a multimodal way?
Well, I think more cities, even smaller municipalities and whatnot, they're also going to adopt what the larger ones are doing. But I also think that what we consider a mobile parking app now will be migrated into the infotainment of vehicles. So instead of me having to do those transactions on my phone, some of them I'll continue to do them on my phone and transfer them into the infotainment system, or ignore my phone and completely do them in my infotainment system. And infotainment is the dashboard and the touchscreen that some of the new cars have. And eventually, self-parking vehicles will utilize the technology in the infotainment device in the vehicle to connect to the parking facilities, to be able to enter, exit, to make a payment, and so on.
Well, it's clear you're all experts in your field. So what can we expect to see from you soon? Adam?
For us here at Passport, there's a number of key focuses really for us over the next 12 months. I think firstly for us, it is about opening up the landscape on the street to allow multiple applications to sell the same space. We really do think that that's a win-win for the consumer and the local authority in terms of allowing that customer choice in terms of which mobile app to pay with, and again making sure that the cities and local authorities have all of that data in one place and are able to manage their curbside in a very efficient and effective way. The other focus for us really is looking at the sort of next generation of mobile payments. Payment through mobile phones in the UK has been around for about 12-13 years now, and obviously we're seeing changes in technology at quite a rapid pace, but that's not really moved into the sort of parking world in terms of paying for parking spaces. We see a lot more in-car payments over the next 12 months, whether that's through retrofitted devices or within the dashboard of some of the new cars coming off the production line now. Our focus really is about being able to facilitate payments through those devices to make it much more easier for the customer than it is now. As well as those, we're looking slightly beyond the parking space. We really do see mobility as a whole being our challenge and not just parking. Passport have invested very heavily in a platform which allows local authorities not just to track the use of private cars and parking, but effectively bring in data from a whole wealth of other sources, whether it's bikes, whether it's ride shares, whether it's car share, whether it's EV charging, whether it's freight usage out on streets. So it's about bringing all of those data sources together into a platform that allows cities and local authorities to make much smarter decisions about what they want to do. They're really the main focuses for us here at Passport.
Thanks, Adam. We look forward to seeing your complete platform. Greg, do you think that mobile parking apps will have enough traction for your future plans?
We feel that our focus for the coming year will be market education. Parking with a mobile app is really the next generation of parking, and a lot of the public don't completely understand how to do it, how to download it, how to set up for it, and things of this nature. And so we feel that the more the public understands the convenience and advantages of using this level of automated parking, the more the acceptance will come along with using mobile apps. And the fact that so many other market sectors are using this technology, I think will provide additional traction for mobile apps to be used within the parking and transportation industry.
And Juan, what's going to be happening with you from a mobile parking perspective?
So from a mobile parking app perspective, FlashParking will continue to enhance our Flash Beacon software development kit, or SDK, that enables frictionless Bluetooth parking access to gated facilities. And we're going to be adding additional tools to provide different types of parking transactions through that software development kits, so that we can have our partners embed that SDK into their mobile apps, and we can continue to perfect the parking experience.
Thank you so much, guys, for taking the time to share your thoughts with us. Would you like to feature on Parking Talks? Or send us an email to editor@parking-net.com to let us know what parking topics you would like to hear more about.